Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas, and today my guest is Kelly Bradford. She's an entrepreneur who is certified in plant-based nutrition, as well as a vegan restaurant owner, and has an education center. Stick around. I'd like to introduce her to you. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. So I want you to tell my viewers how you began on this road to veganism.
Okay. It was, I would say that it's been a very interesting journey for me. I was a typical stubborn American. And in 2007, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. At that time, I went along with whatever the medical professionals recommended, which was a double mastectomy, 6 months of chemotherapy, and then breast reconstruction. After I got done with my treatments, I felt like I wanted to kill myself. I don't know why I went through all of that to live, because the quality of life is not the same. But unless you really do your research, you don't know that. If you're a trusting, typical American who trusts your doctor because they have an education that you don't have, go along with whatever they tell you. A friend of mine introduced me to this alkaline water, which is what triggered me to open my mind and find out that there is a cure for cancer along with a lot of other chronic diseases if you do your research. So that put me on a path of learning, how can I stay cancer free? So I don't have that in my back of my mind, it's going to come back and kill me. So that journey led me to the China Study book, Forks Over Knives movie, along with many, many other documentary movies. From there, I went to Dr. Colin Campbell's course through online through Cornell University, plant-based nutrition. And I was on fire to just get the message out there to other people who are suffering, that you don't have to suffer, that we don't have to accept that as the answer, that we can feel better if we simply open our mind and realize that we have to put the right fuel in our gas tank in order for our engine to run properly. That was my hot button. But since I've been on this journey, I've learned that there's many other hot buttons for many other people, what brought them to be a vegan. That's what brought me to be a vegan.
And these days you're feeling better and you have, it looks like, a passion to teach others.
Correct. So I've been going on 14 years cancer-free. I'm 62 years old. I work 80 to 85 hours a week. And my tirelessly, diligently working to help other people to realize you don't have to accept a life of pain and suffering. You're all going to die of old age. You're not going to stop that. But you can stop debilitating diseases that are unnecessary.
So one can have a better life as we're living.
Yes. We can live a better quality of life if we just pay attention to our body.
Exactly. And then tell us a little bit about Island Produce Cafe in Florida.
All righty. So I'm originally from Los Angeles. That's where I lived my whole life. I moved to South Florida in 2009. What I wanted to do was, I live on a small island. It's called Singer Island. It's just north of Palm Beach Island. And there's a lot of people that are my age, retirees and people my age, that are suffering from all kinds of diseases, heart disease, cancer, psoriasis. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I started a healthy eating club. I named Island Produce Club, where I would go to the green markets and pick up the fresh fruits and vegetables for my neighbors, and encouraging people to drink smoothies and eat better. And that grew into, can you just cook for me? And that's where Island Produce Cafe came from.
So that's awesome. So you just started trying to advocate for better health through veganism, and you started out by just being a friendly, kind person by bringing produce to people, and then it led to this your island produce cafe.
Correct. Yep, it evolved. Yep.
and so, and so, what type of food do you prepare?
So I'm the forks over knives plant pure, if you want to use the terminologies that are out there. I'm a no oil, fresh whole food. So I don't make anything that is bad for you. I just cook food, whole food from scratch. But I have a chef here. He's as well. He's a younger guy, so he makes some of the fun vegan foods for that people. There, what I've learned about veganism, there's different kinds. So there's people who are just all about the planet, the animals, and not so much about the health of the human body. So he works up some absolutely delicious homemade sourdough crust pizzas and calzones and all
Wow.
kinds of fun things. So we have a variety here. I originally, my plan was to only be whole food, plant-based, good food, but here in South Florida, there's just not enough customers to keep the doors open. So we have a variety of vegan food. We have the good food that's all healthy, and then we have the food that we're used to eating as Americans, only veganized.
Well, but at least it's healthier than than the regular sad
Yes.
recipe.
Yes. Even our food that does have fat in it, our white flour is all made from scratch. We don't buy anything already made. We make everything here.
And how can people get your food? Is it a sit down restaurant or is it a place where you have to order? How does it work?
So we're primarily a to-go restaurant. So we have to pick up or delivery. We've got a meal service. So we do a hot meal every day that we deliver out to people at lunchtime and then again at dinner time. So we have the meal service, and then we have more of like a fast food, junk food, not junk food, but you know what I mean, mimicking junk food menu. So we
Right.
have pizza, we have calzones, got wraps, got tacos, salads, soups. So we have kind of covered the bases to introduce for beginners, to introduce them to, let's say if you're a Taco Bell or a McDonald's kind of eater, we mimic those foods, only make them good for you. So we have fast food to introduce people to veganism, as well as just the hot meal of the day kind of a thing as well.
Okay. And do you do seminars on education, or do you like put a booklet in with the food you're delivering? How does it work?
Yeah, so how we work that is we also have a Plant Pure Nation pod. So if anybody listening is familiar with that are not, then you can go to plantpurenation.com and check it out. That Nelson Campbell, Dr. Campbell's son, started a network where in each community a person steps up to be a leader and forms a support group where you meet once a month and learn recipes, share ideas, share challenges and solutions. We educate that way. When people walk in the door, we give them a mini seminar right on the spot. We also do private cooking lessons for the serious minded. We have a lot of different educational options. We have pamphlets, we have magazines, we have books that we lend out.
Awesome. That is awesome. And and the community where you're at, I'm sure that when the people in your community who eat the vegan food that you serve, naturally are going to start feeling better as soon as they start eating that regularly. So they should be coming right
Yep,
back to you.
yep. We have We have quite a few people like that's just want to try it to see if they feel better and they get hooked. I have some people I've been feeding for over 3 years. They just want to eat right and they're busy and they don't have time because it is a little bit more labor intensive cooking from scratch. And we've gotten away with that with our modern lifestyle.
Awesome. Well, Kelly, thank you so very much for joining us on the Vegan Pulse. It has been my pleasure. Thank you for what you do. It is
Welcome.
totally, truly noble of you wanting to help others feel better.
Yes, I do. It's really important to me. Yes, thank you. I really enjoyed chatting.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember to follow us on Facebook, like us too, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out our blog. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.